All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? Could you hear and see everything okay? As you guys reply to that, let me go ahead and get the regular slow market set up. Hello, greetings, Mike B, Raji B, everybody. So let's just get started. I'm Coach DBA. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. As always, we're going to be talking about the live markets. Our top step risk disclosure is in the YouTube chat. As I talk about the live markets, it's for educational purposes only. Yeah, it was an interesting day. We finally got some movement out of the markets. You guys can see we have the NASDAQ daily chart. Sounds like, are we getting some echo? Let's just confirm. Let's double check before I continue. Let's confirm, how is the audio? How's the audio for everybody? Good? Are we shorting Nikkei? Nope, all good here. So, interesting. Yep, I think the audio is good on my end. I have not changed anything for like over a month, so the audio should not be any different. Same with the quality. So, let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to do, just a little update from my end, guys. I was going to show you this. I've been trading Express funded accounts and my live account, and I figured I'd show you guys this first before you hear it on TopstepTV. Let's see if I could pull this up. Well, it's taking forever to load, but yeah, Mick messaged me after the bell. Said, let's just move your 3 Express funded accounts to your live account balance. So yeah, you'll find out tomorrow during the top 10 leaderboard, or sometime in the morning, maybe during shoulder tap, where they're going to be transferring those 3 Express funded accounts to my live account balance, which I think it was right around $50,000 in profit since March 14th. So, a half a month, $50,000 for those Express funded accounts. And I think my total live account balance will be right around $100,000. Well, it would have. Yeah, so we'll see where it goes. It's been a busy day for me. I haven't looked at my statistics. I haven't looked at my account balances. So it's going to be around, I would say, somewhere between 90,000 and 100,000. I'm not sure. We're going to find out tomorrow. I'll probably look at it before I go to bed, but it's going to be interesting. I'm starting to play around in some more combines. I always like to have combines that I practice on, that I'm, testing some things on, that I'm working on my strategy. For example, we were just talking about, if you were here yesterday, we were talking how the market changes, right? As you can see, the market just changed from consolidating to, we had a very bearish day today. We had a movement. We have a trending day. And so as I'm trading my live account, I'm also, working on other strategies. I'm working on a few other things. And yeah, so anyway, all that being said, let's go ahead and do that and jump into the market. We had this consolidation for the past week and a half, as you can see here on the daily chart. And we had a beautiful sell-off day today. Surprisingly enough, I was the buyer, and I was buying the market today. That's all my orders was buying, and I'll show you why, and I'll go in depth of why I was looking to buy. And I actually got in a few great positions down here to the bottom. Everyone knows I've been looking for the market to break. Will we come down here and test this level or this zone, right? This is a really decent zone. Let me put maybe a box. Would that be? So somewhere down here. This is something that I am looking for, is maybe if we continue a sell-off, we could very well come and see this zone. 18,000, maybe 18,000 is in line. Or the first thing we do need to get through is this bullish trend. You can see every time we have had a sell-off, the market has been just buying it up. So that's always the question for us, right? Is this going to be a situation where we just buy the dip and then we start to push higher, or do we get a more and a deeper pullback down, closer to 18,000, 18,100? If I had to guess, now remember this is just purely a guess, not trading advice, nothing to take action on, and it's not even something I'm going to take action on. I believe that because we consolidated for so long in this flagging pattern, it's been over 6-7 trading days where we just consolidated and we finally found a direction. I feel like we could get enough bearish momentum to push us down even lower into this zone. That's the only reason why I believe that we could have further downward pressure, because every time we've had these pullbacks before, there was little to no consolidation, right? We had the consolidation here, and this was actually a trend continuation. The other one was back, in the beginning of January, where we did get this consolidation, but this was very volatile, and we didn't really get a very clear direction on the sell-off. We just immediately bought right back up. We did have some consolidation back here, near the end of November. We did get kind of a clear direction, and that got back up. So that's where I'm curious where we're going to go from here. My instincts say that we could see a continued downward pressure and a sell-off down towards 18,000, 18,100. That's what I'm going to be looking for. And if you guys believe this or not, that being said, I'm still going to be a buyer. I am a bullish trader. I am a perma bear. Sometimes that gets me into some trouble, but until we break below this, I'm still going to be a buyer. This is the last pivot. Technically, we're still making higher lows, and we are technically making higher, if not equal, highs. So we're still in a bullish market since January, and I believe that we are still bullish. We're just getting a pullback, and so I'm still going to be a buyer until we break below that. So as much as I want to say I'm bearish and we could see downward pressure, I'm still looking to buy the market, and I'm looking for levels to buy the market. That's what I did today, and it worked out really well. I finished today up about $12,000 or $13,000 in my Express Funded account and live accounts combined, just being a buyer. And here's why. So I dropped down to a 60-minute chart. So I did the analysis on the daily, and now we are going to do the same thing, if not something similar, on the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, we had this huge break. You guys could see this was the sell-off from what we were looking at. We finally broke below this huge support zone. We broke below, we sold off, and then we had some key levels. The first key level being, or it's more of a zone, right? Like this is a big zone. This was the bottom of it that I was looking for us to maybe test right around the low 200s. And I did test a few longs as we came down into this range. And so the way I was playing today was I was looking for a reversal on the 5-minute. I dropped down to a 5-minute chart, and then I was looking to be a buyer of the market. So the way that I played it is I waited for the New York session to open, of course, during the New York session, which was right here. And I was looking for any 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute chart to build a long position. I ended up building a long position here. I took a loss on this one. I got into a long position here on a 3-bar reversal. Very simple, very straightforward. I got in long right around 224, and my stop loss is the opposite side of the candle. And I held this for most of the day. I did close out, I think, 1 or 2 contracts here, and then I just continued to build a long position. And I ended up getting finished. This was like the last of my orders. I'll have to double check. But yeah, I built a position long down near the open and looking for any reversal. Abik, what is the 3-bar reversal? So this is the 3-bar reversal. It's very simple. You could Google it. It's on so many places online. Essentially, it's exactly what it sounds like, right? We have a trend. As you can see here, we've been in a downtrend. And what, I took a loss on here, and the one that I did, do really well was, you can see we have this down candle, right? This is a very bearish candle. Then we had another candle, and this one was kind of like the doji candle, the apex candle, whatever you want to call it. Then the price action crosses the high of this candle. Then technically it was a 3-bar reversal. This is on the 5-minute chart. This is what I was looking at. You can imagine, just flip the chart upside down. That's to the bearish side. So that was my main trade for today. I took it in my express funded accounts. I also took it in my live account. And ended up making about 13,000 on all 3 of them. And right when the market closed, Mick reached out to me and said, let's just get you to continue to get it over to the live account. Yeah, so where are we at now, and where could we go? Going back into slow markets. We had the really bearish sell-off today during the New York session. During the second half of the New York session, we started to rally, right? This was a pretty decent rally from the bottom. I mean, it's just over 100 and maybe 150 points. I am looking at this right now as a pullback. I believe that we are now in an intermediate downtrend. And the way that I say that is intermediate, short term, maybe this week, maybe a few days, we are in a downtrend. We broke through all the lows for the past week and a half. We gained a lot of bearish momentum, and essentially we had a beautiful sell-off. We got a pullback, and so the way that I am looking at this is a 60-minute chart on the NASDAQ, is I am going to be looking for continuation. Now, the market's not perfect. 99% of the time, charts do not look as good as it does when you're learning about them and when you're watching chart patterns. So I'm going to expect that there could be a lot of chop between now and tomorrow. Maybe we get another move high up in the London session. We're not 100% sure. We do have, this used to be support. Will support be resistance again? Maybe. I'm going to be looking for that. Tomorrow, I want to be a buyer. I want to be a buyer once we get down to some key levels. However, if we do rally up, there could be some opportunities for me to take some really decent risk reward shorts. Just because I'm a buyer and just because I'm a permanent bull does not mean I cannot take a trade to the opposite direction, to the downside. I will only do that if I get the best risk reward and I'm taking, cheap trades. And for me, the way that I'm going to be looking at that is, if we rally up to one of these resistance points or support areas that will, maybe it will become resistance, then I can be looking to take some shorts. Until then, I'm going to wait and see if we can get another move down towards the 18,100, 18,000 level. Whew, that was a lot. If you're more aggressive, then of course, yeah, there's definitely a way to take advantage. I mean, you don't have to sit there and wait for the market to rally before you short it. You can definitely get in. There's a lot of momentum traders. There's a lot of, traders who can take advantage of the movement between now and tomorrow. The way you can do that is either using limit orders, using stop orders to get into a short as we continue a sell-off. Yeah, I'm a little bit more hesitant. I would much rather be short now, going into maybe wait until the 18,000 level. Okay, let's get some questions in here. We have some amazing moderators that's been helping. Thank you, Sarah. Vivi Short, is this just analysis? Yeah, this is slow markets. I talk about trading concepts, about taking advantage of the overnight trading, trading during the Asian and the London session and holding a trade overnight. And I also answer questions. I give my point of view. I talk about trading. I mean, it's not really a one specific show, right? Dakota, what stop ranges do you recommend for overnights, NQ or ES? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but for example, the way I understood that is like, how would I place my stops? One example is, we just went through my analysis, that we could see some continued sell-off, because I'm looking at this as just a very simple, sell-off. We're getting a pullback. Maybe this is a Fibonacci level. Just eyeballing it, it kind of looks like a Fibonacci level. Let's take a look. If this was the trend, sure enough, maybe you can consider this a 50%. I mean, it just depends on how you do Fibonacci's. I think I just butchered that, and I did that one wrong. No, I did that one right. This could be some Fibonacci level, some level that you're looking for a pullback, right? Anyway, I'm looking at this as a pullback, and if I want to be an aggressive seller and I am looking for a continuation down, then the way I would do it is I would zoom into a 5-minute chart, and then I could start to really granulize the market movement, seeing where would I want to get in short, where would my stop loss be, where would my take profits be. Immediately what I'm looking at right now is, of course, for me, the basic, and everyone knows, maybe a stop loss above the last pivot. That is a very basic and simple, straightforward stop loss. Where would your entry be? Where if you used to get in market, it would be here. And then maybe you're looking for some take profits down at the lower of the New York session, or even further down, some take profits, closer to 18,100s. So this right here, as you guys see it, say it's like sell at market, stop loss, take profit. This is, a 2-to-1, maybe a 3-to-1 risk reward, which isn't too bad. I mean, I like to have a little bit better risk reward for this. Of course, the better entry is always closer, having a much cheaper trade. And the statistics of, the probabilities of us going all the way down here, it's not too likely. However, it is going into the current trend. I much would rather use maybe a sell limit. So maybe I want to use a sell limit somewhere up here. And then I have either more room with my stop loss. I could have a better position. I could have a better stop loss. And I have a much better risk reward. And I would like to, most likely I would drop down to, say, micros, not minis. This will allow me to get into 2 to 3 contracts on a micro, and I'm still risking, I look to risk $375, and then I could also scale out. So if I want one take profit here, and then I could have my other take profit even further down, then this will allow me to have a really good risk reward. I'm able to scale into this trade or scale out of this trade, and it gives me a lot more flexibility. How about Nikkei? We'll talk about Nikkei in a moment. Actually, we could jump over to Nikkei now, and then we'll talk about crude oil. Let's get to some more questions, primarily regarding the NASDAQ. So if you have any questions of what I just went over, let me know. I'm probably going to be taking, a few 5-minute breaks in between the markets so I could get to some of your guys' questions. And, while I have just a moment, I did get an update from the team, is that, and you guys probably know this, they announced this during the TopstepTV daytime show, is that, we have, and you guys probably know, that we have a Topstep trading league that we are putting together. And typically it was planned, I think it was planned for June. You guys might correct me if I'm wrong, but that has now been pushed to the fall. And I'm excited. I'm happy that it was pushed till later this fall. Number one, Las Vegas is really hot in June, and I don't want to be in Las Vegas in the middle of the heat in summer. So that's a main reason why I'm happy it got pushed to the fall for the cooler weather. The other one is Topstep. Trying to think of how I can put this. And I know you are watching, Danielle, and the team's probably going to watch. But I'm trying to figure out a way to put this because I'm not the best with my words, and I don't really care. But I think not rushing into something like this, something so big, so serious, and how big the Top Step Trading League can be is the best thing that we can do. That being said, I mean, time goes by so fast. It's already April, then May, then June. So you just have 2 months to get the teams together, to figure everything out in the very back. So having until fall gives us a lot more time to get everything together, make sure that it's the right things, talking about maybe some trading league rules, being able to create a much fun environment. I know Topstep and the team was talking about maybe looking at deals for some of the hotel rooms. I mean, there's so much that can be going on to make the Topstep Trading League as big as it could get. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'm sure it gives everybody here at Topstep and all you guys, and myself included, time to book rooms, plan it, trip, flights, so be it, because we have traders around the world, and I guarantee you we will have traders that are international that wants to come to the Topstep Trading League in Vegas, and 2 months can be very, very short, right? Especially if you're dealing with passport issues, visa, and all of the above that I've had to deal with myself when traveling. So the more time, the better, and I'm excited for it. I know we're working on getting the teams behind the scenes, trying to figure out ways to make it as fun as it gets. I know I'm on a team. I'm working myself. I'm working on some fun trading strategies during the New York session. This is slow market. I'm a slow markets trader. This is where I make my money. However, during the Topstep Trading League, there's going to be a lot of action during the New York session, and I really need to fine-tune my New York session trading, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm in the middle of, and it gives me more time to do that. We all know this is a marathon in trading. It's not a sprint. Sure, we could try and develop a strategy, and we could go through a combine and get into an express funded account and make some money in a month, right? But 1 month does not make a trader. 2 months does not make a trader. I dare say it would probably take around a year to be a decent, consistent trader, and to have enough statistics and enough stats or data points or whatever you want to call it to truly evaluate your trading and your statistics, because it's seasonality. Markets have seasonality. Markets have news events. We all know what's going on with the rates decisions. That could be a reason why the market sold off today. Is there's a lot of fear now that maybe we will have these rates higher for longer, that the Fed has always been saying, and nobody really listens to them. So we'll see. Yeah, so that was a long-winded one. Let's move over to the Nikkei. The Nikkei. This is the Japanese market. 100 tick chart on the Nikkei. I was actually talking to one of my trading buddies, and I took a loss on the Nikkei a little bit earlier. We had a big sell-off. I was looking at this support zone. This is right behind me. Let me show you. So I was looking at this support zone right around 39,300 to 39,250 to be a buyer. So I was looking to buy this, right? So I was ready to buy it, and you can see what happened. We sold off down, and I got in long. I think my position, I'll have to pull up. I was in long here. I got stopped out, and then it turned around and it freaking rallied. This is one I took a loss on it, even though I was looking to be a buyer here. I got in a little bit early. That this was a great setup, a great strategy. I would take this every single time. Unfortunately, it just ran my stop, and then it turned around and it just went straight up from there. We're right back down. It seems like we tested that level again. Nikkei's been in a big sell-off as well. We've been selling off for the past few days. It's been a lot more bearish than the NASDAQ. You could see these giant pivot highs over here the past week. This is the all-time high. This is really close to those all-time highs, and it's been in a really big sell-off since this point. I think this is the point where I got wicked out up here. I was in a short and I got wicked out up here somewhere. But we've been in a sell-off ever since. And I'm looking for the Nikkei to just consolidate a little bit, kind of see some type of either consolidation or bullish leg. And I think that's what we were going to get around this zone. This is a decent zone. If the market was going to get it, then this is a pretty decent chance, right? Because we're looking at probabilities. Markets tend to bounce where support is, and there was a lot of support around here. So I was looking for a bounce maybe to 600. We could continue to consolidate, and I think there might be some good opportunities to be a buyer down near these lows. And I think that being said, let's see. Let me see. I'm a trader. Let's zoom in. I just missed that opportunity. I think if it gives it to me, I'm going to get into maybe 3 contracts if it will give it to me. We'll see. That was the trade. I think I just missed that one. Where the trade was, sure enough, we went back down to that level. Seems like we consolidated a minute. And now we just got that 3-bar reversal to the long side. We'll see. I don't want to get FOMO and just because we could rally back up to these highs. Dang it. 7.5 earthquake this morning. Where are you at? There's everyone's starting to talk about earthquakes, tsunamis. You're talking about, is this in Japan? Coach, same risk parameters during the New York session as at night. Jim Carlton asks, do I have the same risk parameters from when I trade my slow markets class to when I trade during the New York session? My answer is yes. It's the same risk parameters. I just trade a lot quicker in terms of I'm trading different time frames. So the take profit and the stop loss is much slower or lower, smaller, whatever. But the percentages and the profit is the same. So my position size is a bit bigger during the New York session because I'm not holding it for as long as my stop losses and take profits are wider. Oh, wow. Wow, the huge earthquake over there. Did that just happen, guys? Close to Taiwan? I'd butcher that. Tsunami warning for Japan. That is not good. Did this just happen? Trending on Twitter earlier. Do you use volume at all trading? Has anyone heard of an account just being... Yeah, that was the trade. I was going to take a quick scalp to the long side. Entry down here around the 440s. Looking for a long movement. Big tsunami. Wow. Okay, it just happened. We also have a number in 15 minutes that could affect NKD. Yeah, Coach Jay. While Coach Jay is here, maybe we'll have Coach Jay on one of these times. Hopefully I could get him on here sooner rather than later. Last night when I was done trading, if you guys believe me, if you guys remember this, or do you remember this pattern from last night near the end of my class? We were looking at this pattern, right? And the break and the continuation. Well, I was sitting there having dinner, and I had Panda Express, right? So I was eating Panda Express. I was watching I don't know what I was watching, but I had my platform open right here on this computer monitor, and I had a DOM open here for the Nikkei. And I seen 150 contracts show up at the ask. And I messaged Coach Jay on Discord. And I was like, hey, look, there's 150 contracts at, I think it was like 975. Yeah, it was 975. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Jay. It was at 975. Those 150 contracts came in and they sold at it's 975. I jumped in with them. I said, you know what? 3 contracts. I'm joining 975. We just broke down below this triangle. We have room all the way down. And I think I even said it, Coach Jay. I told Coach Jay, like, my target's 800, 39,800. Coach Jay went to bed. I went to bed. I woke up, and sure enough, it went straight down to 800. So I have started to implement a little bit of just watching the DOM. And that was the first time I've ever traded based off of something that happened on the DOM. It was very interesting. It was 3 contracts in my express funded accounts. It was a good trade. I was pretty excited about that one. No, I don't watch multiple DOMs. Unfortunately, yeah, I would drive myself crazy watching it. Rips, no. I hit my daily loss limit all the time. I'm just an average trader. I told Rips I'm going to make sure everybody knows this. I am an average trader amongst you guys. I'm one of you in terms of just going through the same process as everybody else. As it's just very normal, right? I trade a combine. I pay the same amount. If I'm going to trade 150K combine, I pay $150. I have to go through the same process as you guys. I've blown combines. I've blown express funded accounts. I was trying to trade. I think it was yesterday. I blew a daily loss limit the day before. You guys heard Topstep. You heard Mick mention me on a shoulder tap, where he's just like, all right, Dakota hit his daily loss limit. He was up $1,500, and now he's at his daily loss limit. So definitely not the best. I'm just an average trader trying to help you guys out and show you guys an interesting concept on how to trade slow markets. I'm not that bad, though, so I will say that. I have to give myself credit. I'm not that bad. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's get to some more questions, and we'll talk about crude oil. Crude oil is a good one. I'm supposed to say I put my pants on one leg at a time, same as any other guy. Yeah, so let's look at crude oil. Change of pace. Let me pull up my statistics. Okay, let's look at crude oil. Everyone knows my view on crude oil. I did take a short. I took a short today at $85 a barrel. I think 85.01. I did end up taking a short in my accounts. I took it on all 3 of my XFAs and my live account here in crude oil. This is a 60-minute chart. Everyone knows I've been looking at $85 a barrel for a while now. If we look at the daily chart, you can see that this was the resistance I was looking at. And I think this was just yesterday, right? I was talking at this yesterday. You guys got me distracted now. I was looking at this yesterday. And I was like, we could come up and see this. And if we get to this level, then I could possibly looking at, taking a short or waiting, see maybe we get some type of a pullback. Sure enough, if we zoom into the hourly chart, I did end up taking a short. We had a huge rally during the New York session. Not the New York session, during the London session. We sold off during the New York, and when we got right back up here, I did take a short at 501, and I closed it out really early, unfortunately. Let me zoom in, and you can see it a little bit better, and then I'll talk more about where crude is at now and some of my expectations. So this was the rally during the London session, and this is the rally during the New York Open, and I took the short on this 5-bar reversal here. God, it seems like all my trades are just simple 5-bar reversals, as simple as it gets. But essentially, I got short at 501. I did get a bad position, I think. So I didn't get the best price. I got in, say here, right where this circle was. I should have been in here, but I didn't see it until then. So that was my short. My stop loss was here, and I was just going for a 1-to-1. I think I closed it at 84.80. I was in 4 contracts, so $800 or something. I'll have to double check. I closed it out early. I should have just closed out 1 or 2 contracts and then trailed it like you guys see me do. Yeah, I'm just hesitant shorting a market when we're so bullish. So yeah, it's very difficult for me to be a seller, especially in such a bullish market like crude oil or that we have been in. So essentially, I think we're in the same situation. We rallied up. We tried to break out. We kind of failed to break out, right? So if we go back to the 60-minute chart, this is a huge rally. We've just been going up and up and up in crude oil. I'm sure there's plenty of news out there talking about political stuff and whatever. There's always news. Point is, we've been rallying. We've been in a very, very bullish rally. I've been wanting and I've been waiting for a pullback, and I have not got it. You can see it's, like you said, Alex, it's been just 2-3 days, and we've went from $81 a barrel all the way up to $85.50, and there has not been an opportunity for me anyway to be a buyer. I thought there might be one here. I missed it. I didn't take it. Yesterday, we didn't even get much of a pullback. We had from 84.50 down to 83.60. I didn't take that trade. We didn't get a deep enough pullback for me, and then we just kept rallying. I was sleeping during this pullback. When we got back up to 85, I did take that short. It looks like we tried to break out. We failed. So I want to be. This is one of the situations that I'm in where it's like I want to be short right now. In terms of I feel like we can have that pullback just because we failed that breakout. And this is an hourly chart, and we very well could see a pullback. But do I really want to be shorting a market that's been this bullish, especially for a slow markets class where we've been just rallying? No way. I don't think I want to hold crude oil overnight, especially in short. I just cannot see myself shorting this for an overnight slow markets trade. During the New York session, sure, I might take a short for a good cheap trade from there. But I think I'm going to wait for a pullback here in crude. Crude likes to stop loss hunt. So maybe there's some stop losses below this pivot point. And if we do get a pullback, maybe towards 84 into the 83s somewhere, I could be looking to take a long. Until then, I'm just going to not trade it. If we go up, so be it. If we sell off, then I'm going to be looking to take a long. Maybe we just consolidate. I'm going to be hands off on crude oil and see if we can get a push down towards 84, maybe into the high 83s to be looking to take a long. So let's get some more questions in. We still have 20 minutes. Let's do some questions. I'll touch base on some gold. Gaston, that is what I'll be checking next. I want to make sure I get through questions. Like I said, slowly try. It's only been, a month and a half since I started this slow markets. And I'm slowly trying to get some structure into class, so it's not too informal. What is the 5 bars reversal? Sayo, I went over that just earlier. So maybe you can watch this recording. I think it was like 5-10 minutes in. Feel free to rewatch it. I know it's an hour-long class, but I think you even have the ability to watch it at like 1.5 times speed. So yeah, I go through these questions every night. It seems like every single day I'm taking a trade based off of a 3-bar reversal. It's just very simple. It's very straightforward. It doesn't matter whether it's a 5-minute chart or a 1-hour chart. It's a reversal type pattern that's very technical. Let's see. Yeah, no problems. I mean, it's very simple. You could even Google it. 3-bar reversal. It doesn't matter whether it's a 5-minute chart or a 1-hour chart or a minute chart. Dakota, trading metals and crude directions against indice directions. What are your thoughts? Has been your experience? I have not paid too much attention to correlation between what I'm trading in the other markets. Maybe I should. It's just another thing I need to pay attention to that I don't want to, and I would rather spend my time and my attention, my limited attention that I do have, on managing my risk on a trade and the market that I'm in. It doesn't mean that can't work. I'm sure it does. It's probably a good thing, and I could probably be a better trader doing that. And I've thought about it. I don't have that much attention span in terms of just focusing on so many moving parts. And for example, right, like, if the NASDAQ goes up, does Nikkei go up? Does NASDAQ go down? Nikkei goes down. And then while those are moving, which direction does crude or gold do that? And yeah, I think you mentioned that gold and DXY, the dollar, they work, and there's a correlation, right? Like, how correlated are they, right? How much does it make sense? Are you going to watch one, and then if one starts to move in one direction, do you hop over and just hurry and buy another one in some type of an arbitrage or spread type trade? I'm not sure. I have not went down that rabbit hole. It doesn't mean I don't know about it. I do know about it, but it's not something where I've spent time trading it. And I'm sure everybody who knows how to trade sees that. There's algorithms that know and understand that in terms of the way that they're programmed. And in no way I'm going to be able to beat an algorithm in monitoring that and seeing that. But it could be a good supplement. I don't have enough experience to really speak to that, I guess, in terms of the way I trade. I look at one market at a time. I look at it exactly the way you see me look at it every single night. One chart, one market. I analyze it on a higher time frame. I'll zoom in. I look at some very, very basic chart patterns and technical analysis. But the one thing that I will say that makes me a decent trader, well, I could have got filled right there at that 440. Dang it. The one thing that makes me, I guess, a decent trader is risk management. And Topstep helps with that. Topstep helps me because, yeah, sometimes I do get emotional. As you guys know, I got that shoulder tap from Mick, hitting my daily loss limit. I took some losses trying to buy the Nikkei right here, and it just hit my stop loss, and I took a loss. So maybe Mick's going to be mentioning that if you watch him, maybe he does a shoulder tap for me when he moves me to a live account tomorrow, and he mentions, oh, Dakota took a loss today in his live account. I love Topstep. It helps me manage my risk. I don't have to think about it. I mean, I could do it on myself, but that's just one less thing I have to worry about is how if I have a horrible day, what's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah. Live account linked. What do you mean, Fibber? Shouldn't the shoulder tap come before the loss limit? Well, I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Like I said, we're all remote traders, right? I talk to Mick and the risk team all the time through Slack, and he's sleeping right now. I'm trading. A lot of my losses happen before anybody wakes up the next day. And so, yeah, Mick's moving me to, it's not Mick, it's the Topstep risk team. So, yeah, I am moving to, I already have a live account. They're just transitioning my Express funded accounts over to live. So they're just adding to the balance of my live account. And my express funded accounts was at right around 50,000, I believe. Actually, let's just pull it up while I get to some more questions. We could look at it together. Yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm also going to be on TopstepTV, I believe Thursday. Yeah, I think Thursday. I need to find it. When they move your express funded account, they close the express funded account, and it says it's being transferred. Let's see if I could do this. It takes a minute. So here we go. Here's my express funded accounts. This is what I do. I copy a trade it. So there's 3 of these. 3 of these XFAs that they're moving to my live. As you can see, today was a pretty decent day for me. 3,200 in all 3 of my accounts, including my live account. So my live account, I actually made 4,000. I made more money in my live account than my express funded accounts, because I trade my express funded account a little bit different in terms of that. And so when I do have decent days, my live account makes more money. These will be moved to live. So 17 times 3 is 52, 51. So right around there, give or take. I'm going to hold off on a payout. I already took one payout, and that's good enough for me. I'll wait till next month. And here's the thing about me, guys. I take payouts to pay the bills, and my bills are due in 13 days. And so in 13 days, I might take another payout, because I do pay my bills with trading, whether it's through Topstep or my personal accounts. Anyway, 100K club soon. Andreas, 83%. Yeah, that's just this week. I mean, it's just 2 days, right? I mean, it's a small sample size ret when we're talking about statistics. 1 month or, a string of 1 or 2 months, my statistics may be one way. The next month, my statistics may be another way. Overall, I do know my winning day. I mean, my winning days is a lot less than that. It's probably closer to 50%, my winning days. I've just been in a good streak the last 2 weeks. That's all. Nothing else. DV, what's the reason for not taking most of your payouts? DV, I wait until my bills are due to take a payout. You can take a payout, every 5 days you are profitable over $200. And then once you get to 30, I think it's 30. I'll have to double check. I believe once you get to 30 winning days of $200 or more, then you could just pull out whenever. In terms of the percentage wise, I'll have to double check and get to you. The way I check a lot of things, 30 days. Okay, so I was right. In terms of percentages, right? Then you just wait 5 days. I usually wait a month. I took a payout already last month. I'm going to wait a month. My bills are due in 13 days. So in 13 days, I'll take another payout for whatever. Last one, it was only $3,400 because that covers like my rent, my car payments, food for basically the whole month. And so I'll do the same thing. I'll probably pull out $3,400, pay for my bills, and then rinse and repeat. And then my personal accounts, I've just been letting it grow, which has been very nice, where I just use Topstep to pay my bills. And then my personal accounts, I could just let grow. So hopefully, and that was a little personal, right? There's a little insight to Coach Dakota. That is how I pay my bills, is through trading. I'm not seeing much else tonight, guys. I did say we was going to go over gold, so let's look at it. Let's look at the 60-minute on gold. Where are we at? We are touching the $2,300 on gold. Man, gold is just on such a rally. I'm going to look at the weekly chart on gold. Is there anything? Oh yeah, we do. This was back in July. We haven't been this high since July. Is that the highest? This is a rollover contract. You correct me if I'm wrong. 23.10 and a third is the high on gold, and we are going up. This is a weekly chart on gold, and we kind of just broke it, right? We just broke up to the high. I mean, gold is just going up. Wow. This is a strong rally on gold. How do you short this kind of a market? Let's look at a daily chart. Like I said, I'm relatively new to gold. I haven't traded gold in my live account since fall. So like October, November. I switched to Nikkei. This is a kind of chart where you just say, like, we're due for a pullback, right? I don't want to touch gold until we pull back. Like, that's all there is to it in terms of looking for longs. If anything, let's drop to a 60-minute chart. Maybe there's room to be said to short this, but just like crude oil, like, how do you short a market that just keeps going up? I think the answer is you just don't. I've lost more money doing that than I actually want to admit. 23,001. That is, I mean, we're starting to see some resistance here. Do we want to, I do not want to get in long right now, of course. I would much rather wait for a pullback just like we got here on April 1st in order to enter a long. Gold likes to have flagging patterns, as we've seen that before. There's, patterns are very clear and defined in gold compared to other markets. It could be a lot more whipsawed. So we can definitely see some pullback in gold, especially being at that key $2,300 level. If we do break above it, then that's where it gets scary, right? So it's something where we would have to make sure we are keeping our losses very, very tight. And we're really trying to manage risk and focus on the risk as always, but even more so when you're trying to short or go against the market, which is what I would be doing if I was to trade gold right now. I would be, the risk reward is to the downside for gold, and I would much rather be a seller of gold right now than a buyer, because we're getting close to some pretty high levels in gold. Do you use trading journal software? Nick and Tick. No, I use Microsoft Excel. Well, that's a software, but it's not a trading specific for a trading journal. Okay, coming up on 6 minutes, I'll do some more questions, some more brief Q&A going into this. Yeah, thoughts and prayers out for everyone who's affected to that earthquake and any other damage that could be happening overseas. That is always the worst thing to hear. Yeah, you never want to see that, or you never want that to happen with anybody. We have traders from around the world, and I guarantee you we do have traders somewhere that will be affected by that. You use a pen and paper. Good luck with that. Coach Dakota, do you have specific times you find best to trade, or only the charts correlated to outside data? Finding big gains, getting in 3 p.m. open, holding until 1 p.m. close. I don't think there's specific times. I'm trading the same time every night during my slow markets class. So can you say that? I would say sure. I do trade the same time every night. Is it more beneficial now versus an hour from now versus an hour from then? I haven't noticed. I'm trading on a higher time frame, so it's not too much of an effect. But when I trade the New York session, sure, I would say that the time makes a bigger difference, obviously, right? The New York session is a lot more volatile. The New York Open is a lot more volatile, and then the New York close. I don't pay too much attention to timing other than knowing when markets open and when markets close, and then, of course, the big news that is expected to come out. That's it. Dakota, have you ever get in drawdown? How do you get out of it? I get in drawdown all the time. It sucks. Getting in drawdown absolutely sucks. It freaking does. It's part of trading, though. I'm in drawdown now, technically, in my live account. That could be fair enough. That's a fair assumption. I'll show you. I am technically in drawdown now in my live account here at Topstep. And the way you get out of it is the same way you became funded, right? You do the exact trade. So here's my live account. So here's my live account. Worst day. There's the reality of trading, right? You get slippage. Yeah, worst day, best day, average winning, average losing. My current, I'm at 50,000. My high water mark was 65,000. So technically I'm in drawdown. I'm up only 975 this week. Yeah, so I'm in drawdown this week on my live. But on my Express funded accounts, I'm at my high water mark, and soon that live account will be back to close to 100,000. So I think that's it, guys. Yeah, we're getting ready to be over. We're over 78,000 subscribers. That is awesome. It sounds like MP and the team has some great stuff planned if we get to 100,000 subscribers. I always run polls. I could see the statistics. There's a big percentage of everyone who watches my slow markets class that does not like the video and does not subscribe. So yeah, of course, I'm going to highly recommend subscribing and watching Topstep TV, especially during slow markets. I was so tempted to take a short there, and I missed that one. But, oh well, I'm going to continue to miss trades. I'm not going to get FOMO. I just got to keep practicing. I think we should all. NASDAQ continue to sell. We could see just an ugly sell-off. Hopefully nothing bad continues to happen overseas. Hopefully everything's going well. Then again, we like volatility. So I think that's it, guys. Jim Carlton, I am testing Topstep X. I'm not fully in. One of these days I will be fully into Topstep X. It's just not right now. So, all right, guys, take care.